What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a good weekend and a safe weekend as always. And we got a few good things to talk about tonight. We had AEW Redemption, and we had Monday Night Raw, the last Raw before Summerslam this weekend. Woo! So we're gonna jump right into it because I don't have as late as I normally have to tonight. So we do not want to waste no time, and we're gonna get right into it. Let's see who we got up in the chat. What's goody? We got the big man in charge. Let's go. What up, big man? Hey, you never messaged me on IG, but I'm hopeful I get maybe you guys worked everything out. Hopefully. If not, you guys figure that out off live. Yo, Kiwi, what up, my brother? Gotta be the first to hit that like button. Let's go, Kiwi. Let's go. Let's effing go. Cold Slayer. What up, Cold Slayer? Yo, Thunder. 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 There he is. There's my brother from another mother. The Troll Exterminator. Big D in the building. What up, my man Donald? What up, Brody? He said, what's goody, Brody? Wolfpack is in the house. You damn right. Just hanging around. Hey, I hear that, Cold. I hear that. Nice, Thunder. I see that dumbbell. Nice, very nice. What up, big man? What up? So, who here right now watched Monday Night Raw and AEW Redemption? So, if you watched both, put WWE and AEW in the chat. If you watched one of the two, put WWE or put AEW in the chat so we can get an idea of what you guys saw in the last 48 hours. Okay, I see Thunder said WWE. D said I have Raw, and I saw it at AEW highlights. Does it count I watch Raw if I only watch the last hour of it? Big Man said WWE. Yeah, that don't matter. Sometimes watching the last hour is all you need. All right, so we're gonna start with WWE then, since everybody's watched WWE tonight. We'll start right there. And hey, thank you, One Night Ninja, for the ingredients to make an Oreo cake. You never know when you want to make a nice Oreo cake. Random as shit, but I love it. Hey, Ninja, make sure you hit that like button. Forgot about AEW. Man, you definitely got to watch it. AEW, if it's one thing AEW knows how to do, it's put on a good pay-per-view. I don't know how a company that could put on such a good pay-per-view screws up the storytelling throughout the weeks before the pay-per-view, but we'll get into that after. So, right off the bat, we had a good opening to Monday Night Raw tonight. We had The Hell in the Cell was down. Oba came out. We had Triple H in the ring, Adam Pearce, and a bunch of fake cops that are probably upcoming talent or talent that's part of an indie company that somewhere near that arena, that they use for extras. But hey, it was a great way to open the show with Oba and Brock. You always want to open the show strong. And let's be honest, Brock isn't getting paid by the hour. So I'm sure Brock is at that point now where, hey, either put me on first or put me on last. Brock's not an in-between guy. He seems to want to be just, I'll open the show or I'll close the show, but don't bother me otherwise. Which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, especially he's earned that. He's been here for long enough. He is the only wrestler to ever hold a UFC World Heavyweight title, which brings that legitimacy over to WWE, which is a huge freaking deal. But my question for you, chat, is do you think by Brock Lesnar closing the Hell in the Cell on Oba and locking him in and not going into the cell at all, do you think that made him look weak? Because to me, I think he came off looking weak tonight. Paul Heyman could amp him up all as much as he wants, but he made himself look weak, like he was scared to be in there with Oba. And to me, that was not a great look. Hey, nice, Thunder. I'm happy to hear. Yes, she did, D. Big Mom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Hey, Rob, hope your mom's doing... I hope your mom's doing good, brother. Hope everything's going good in the family. My boy Brock Lesnar weighs more than Oba. I hope so. Brock, I would, if I had to guess, I would have thought Brock weighed more or about the same because Oba is taller. Brock has always been an opener or a closer of the show. Yep. What up, CJ? It's a big bag. All right, so D said, I think it definitely made him look weak. And you see what I'm see, D, we always on that same wavelength. That's for sure. It was very confusing seeing Brock act like that. Like you are tied with this man. You guys are 1-1. You're the guy who's undefeated in Hell in the Cell. You're the guy who's the UFC champion. If I'm Brock, I would have been puffing out my chest in that ring. I would have walked right up in that ring, got on the scale, and if anything, I would have picked up the scale and hit Oba with it. And then threw him out and then closed the cage on him. Like, I think something like that would have been a better look. But they made Brock look very weak, as if he was worried about being in there with Oba. So Big Man thought the opposite of me and D. He thinks Brock is not scared of Oba and that it didn't make him look weak. Rob said my mom is still in so much pain. I'm just trying to be myself, trying to stay. Hey, that's all you can do, Rob. Stay positive. And you know, Mama Dukes is in all of our prayers, brother. Brock's playing with Oba, playing mind games. So you felt that was more of a mind game. Okay. Hey, I hope you're right, because to me and D, man, we did not see that in Brock tonight. Brock looked legitimately, he looked legit worried about who he's about to step in that ring with. Kiwi said Brock getting older, he has to rely more on mind games with strategy instead of straight power. But there's a time for mind games, right? The build up to the match, that's when you do all the mind games. Mind games are over. You're days away now. You're 5 days away from stepping in Hell in the Cell. Now's the time to flex and show that, hey, I know I'm going to beat you so bad that you don't scare me for a moment. And Brock did not do that tonight. D said he should have went in the cell and then locked it and kicked Oba's ass. Right? He should have locked himself in there. Even if they had the cops and everything, break them up and they never even actually physically touch. They should have put more cops in there, surround both sides with the cops, and just have Oba and Brock whooping cops trying to get to each other, but never do make it to each other. That would have been the best way they should have to do the angle tonight. And it would have made both of them look so strong going into Summerslam this weekend. Instead, I don't know what they chose to make Brock do it this way, but I didn't like it. I did not like it, not one bit. He just, you know, it's the toying and mind game time. That if they did this, if it was 2 weeks ago, I could understand the guys who think it was mind games, but not at this point of the fight. Not a few days away. Hey, what up, Bulldog? How we feeling? I saw the card for SummerSlam Saturday and Sunday. I'm surprised they are doing Oba and Brock on Saturday instead of Sunday. That's because Seth Rollins and Roman are on Sunday night. They can't put Roman and Seth and Brock and Oba on the same card. Those are the two biggest matches. And it's better that Oba and Brock are on the same card as CM Punk and Cody instead. It makes it a little more even. Plus, I'm sure Brock don't want to stay there the whole weekend. Or maybe, who knows? Maybe they have something planned for Sunday with Brock. You never know. He retires Saturday after the match, and then maybe he comes out Sunday again and says something. We don't know. I doubt it, but you never know. Oh, don't worry. We gonna get into Raquel, but we all know 100% Brock is putting Oba over at SummerSlam. 100%. That's how it's going to happen. It sucks, but it's the right thing to do. If Brock retires this weekend like he's supposed to, if this is it, Oba needs to win and go over. Now, no matter what, I'm going to be cheering for Brock Lesnar the entire time. I want Brock to win. But that's not what's right for business. What's right for business is you put the next man over on your way out. The same way, guys helped Brock get over on his way in with their way out. Like The Rock, The Rock was one of the guys that put Brock over on his way out to go do movies. There we go, Bulldog Rick. Liking the positive energy tonight. Poor little Danhausen got whooped. Oh, yeah. They should have let Gunther retire Brock instead of Oba. Well, I'm sure all that is Brock's doing, not theirs. I don't believe that Brock wanted the match with Gunther, but they built it up for Gunther. But looking at it now, Oba's the better opponent. He's a big guy like Brock. They're trying to push him like they pushed Brock. So Brock is the perfect guy to make Oba legitimate. Because right now, yeah, Oba's a big dude. But what has he done to be, oh my God, it's Oba? He hasn't done shit yet. Being the guy who retires Brock Lesnar, now that's a huge accomplishment. That gives Oba some huge bragging rights. And that makes him dangerous. Oh, I can't wait for Brock's daughter to get into wrestling. The contract is in the works. It's gonna happen. If you haven't seen Brock's daughter, I wouldn't mess with her. She's a badass. Man, I hope so. I hope so. I can't wait. But unfortunately, we're gonna have it's gonna be a long time till we see Brock's daughter. But hopefully when she comes, hopefully that nothing changes and that she ends up coming to WWE and going to NXT and working her way through. Gunther's become a joke. He's not even the ring general anymore. Oh no, don't count Gunther out. Gunther is still as vicious as ever. They just didn't have anywhere to pivot him for SummerSlam because they already had they're going with Cody and Punk, Seth and Roman. So that doesn't really leave Gunther with a real opponent. He can't, they can't do Gunther versus Trick Williams. That's Gunther going down, not up. But hey, Nick Aldis and Gunther is going to be the match that's going to impress people. Especially anybody who's never gotten to see Nick Aldis wrestle is going to be like, oh shit, this dude could really go. Nick Aldis is not a little guy. He's actually double the size of half the guys on SmackDown roster. And if anybody deserves to have a WWE match that never got to have one, now it's working there, it's him. Big man, just hang out, chill out, man. If there's someone you don't in the chat you have a problem with, block them, and that's it. Then you guys don't see each other's messages, and there's no communication. It's that simple. D, story of my life. D, story of my life. But what D, what was the next match after Brock? It was the Vision, right? We had the Vision versus Otis and Akira Tozawa. Now, see, this is why I never wanted Seth Rollins to be out of the group. Look at where the Vision was. Yeah, they're the tag champs, but still, the Vision was in the main event picture making moves. They went from that to now they're having a feud with Otis and Akira Tozawa, which good for them because they're getting on TV. So I'm happy for those guys that they're getting some TV time finally. But come on. Yo, Braun Breaker is an unbelievable future talent. Austin Theory's the future also. Logan Paul's going to be right there with them when he's back from injury. Hey, Maxine looks good as a heel. But they're missing that. They need that big name. Which is why taking Seth Rollins out of the Vision was not the best move. They should have just let him leave on injury and then come back to the Vision, because we could have had the Vision versus the Bloodline at SummerSlam happening instead. And they would have been way more entertaining. Oh yeah, Aldis has been him and Mickey James, they've been married for a while actually. I'm going Gunther versus Nick on Saturday and Sunday. And Gunther's got to win over Nick, but man, I'm hoping Nick beats his ass. D said, I will say I am impressed with Maxine. Absolutely. Yo, Maxine, who knew that all Maxine needed was to be a heel? Because, yo, she wasn't connecting as a baby face. It just wasn't really, the pieces weren't falling together. But as a heel, she's got it. She's absolutely got it. I love the way when she comes out, she gives her ass to everybody and then gives Austin Theory like that and looks directly at him. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's involved in the match like a heel manager should be. Maxine is doing phenomenal in the role she's in. The match got old. Otis and his partner getting a beat down by a Vision is like watching last week beat down grade D. Big Bronson will help the Vision a lot when he comes back here soon. Absolutely. They need Big Bronson big time. But the problem also with that is what they do with Big Bronson when he does come back. Now, Braun Breaker and Big Brunson as a tag team, that's a problem. They'd be a legit threat. Even if Braun Breaker stopped being tag champ when Big Brunson came back, and we saw Braun Breaker go after singles gold, I think is still better for the vision because I don't see Braun Breaker being a number 2 to Big Brunson. If anything, I think Braun Breaker needs to be the number 1 in that spot. And if Paul Heyman is really not going to work with them on screen anymore, it's going to hurt. Yo, Chappelle, what up, my brother? What up, my Cowboys, brother? Too sweet. How are we tonight, Chappelle? I wonder if Paul is going to go out with Brock Lesnar. What do you mean Paul is going to go out with Brock Lesnar? Oh, you mean Paul Heyman? Absolutely. Paul Heyman is most likely going to take a break after this. I don't think Paul Heyman's is not going to leave. He's not leaving the company, but he's going to take a small break because he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But do not be surprised if Paul Heyman is gone for a little while. Remember, the Vision has the free bird rule, so we can see Braun and Brunson as a tag champ, and then Austin can do his thing with Maxine. See, I pray they don't, they keep that rule in effect. I hope WWE Creative doesn't do one of these things where they try to pretend like that never happened. And I don't know what belt like we would want Austin Theory to go for. Like Braun Breaker could easily be a good IC champ again. Austin Theory could be an IC champ also. I wouldn't mind seeing Austin Theory fighting for the IC title. I think Austin Theory is better as a singles wrestler than as a tag wrestler, to be honest. I wish we still had like the cruiserweight title or like the European title. I think that belt would that belt screams Austin Theory. He'd be so freaking good with that. What's the good news, big man? Austin. Well, see, the only reason I didn't name the U.S. title is because Trick Williams is on SmackDown, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have went. That's which way. That would have been the way I would have went with Austin Theory, going after the U.S. title, but he can't do that because the U.S. title is SmackDown's property, where the IC title is Raw's property. Chappelle said, "Yo, Paul Heyman was on Complex. He stole a pair of Air Jordan." Yes, if you guys didn't watch the Complex episode with Paul Heyman, definitely make sure you watch it. It's not long. It's just but it's funny. I was actually watching that before I came on tonight, Chappelle, too. Yeah, that show is so funny. Yes, Kiwi. Yes. That's what I would do. I would change the US title to the TV title because you can't get rid of the IC title. The IC title is epic. But I would retire the US title and bring back the TV title instead. I've always loved the TV title, so I love it. I think a good match would have been the Vision versus the Bloodline in War Games. That would have been a great match if they had Seth Rollins. They really should have never had Seth leave. Just think of how different this entire card would have been if that didn't happen. I sent my refereeing videos to Memphis Championship Wrestling and got a call to go up and do a referee on a live TV starting August. Yo, congrats, big man. That's what I'm talking about. See, there you go. Listen, you just keep doing that. No matter where it is, keep sending your tapes. And the beauty of today is you can get addresses from anywhere on Google. Just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You don't hear something back from somebody within 3 weeks, send it again. Networking is the biggest thing if you in the business. Paul said they were for his son, right? And Chappelle. And then when he heard the price of the shoes, he turned around and said, "Oh, my son got enough of shoes. He's good." And walked out. That was good. Thunder, those are his promo tapes for work. Hell's yeah, Kiwi. That's what you gotta do. What are we up next? We had the IC title match for the ladies. We had Sol Ruka defending the IC title versus Raquel Big Mama Cool. And man, I gotta say, in the beginning, when this match was first started, I'm saying to myself, if Liv Morgan does not come out tonight, they better not have Raquel help her over the weekend. They better not have her freaking do anything for Liv Morgan if Liv Morgan don't show up tonight and do right by Raquel. And so Ruka ended up screwing up on a spot and busted her nose open. Which, hey, I like Sol Ruka as a wrestler. I don't know what's going on with the girl. In NXT, she never screwed up, ever. There were no flops. There were no slip-ups. She was spot on at all times. Since she's been on the main roster, I've watched her screw up every match at some point. And tonight was not good. You hurt your opponent. You never want to do that. Of course it was an accident. Of course she didn't do it on purpose. But now she busted her nose open, and now they had the entire plan of Sol Ruka dropping the belt tonight, which happened, and I'm very, very happy that Raquel Big Mama Cool finally got her freaking first singles title on the main roster. Let's go. So stoked for Raquel, aka Big Mama Cool. I'm happy that Liv Morgan and Donald's wife was there to help, which exactly is how it should have went down, because they're heels. Heels should be cheating. You're a bad guy. Bad guys cheat. Bad guys do not need to win clean. So, great match. Just Sol Ruka's mishap that ended up in breaking Big Mama Cool's nose. We gotta hope now isn't gonna be something huge now. Let's just really hope that it's not a bit. It's just a week or two she's gonna be out, not something real serious where she may have to relinquish the title because she's not going to be able to wrestle for a few months. But we're going to have to, wait and see what happens with that. If we see her over the weekend on SummerSlam come out with Liv or help Liv during the match and there's no patches or nothing on her face, that will be a good sign that, that Big Mama Cool is okay and that she did not get hurt. Hey, what up, Raiders Rob? Welcome to the live. What up, D? She's going to be sent down. You notice you don't see Stephanie Valkyr? Sol Ruka sucks since she's been brought up. Hey, D, welcome to the live, first off. And second off, right before you came in, I was literally just saying in NXT, never a mishap. She never screwed up ever. But ever since she got brought to the main roster, every single match I've caught her screwing up. And tonight's screw up to me is not acceptable. You hurt somebody now. It's one thing when she screws up on her finisher and she slips or something. But when you hurt somebody else, that's by accident. Of course it's by accident. But when you keep seeing a problem happening week after week, how many more times does a mishap have to happen before we turn around and say, "So Ruka, we need to take a time out and figure out what's going on here." Hunter, I got the email from them on my phone number 3 days ago. It's like a dream, but real done. Called them, somebody pinched me. Hey, congrats, big man. There you go. And it's only a 4-hour drive. Can't go wrong. How's you, D? She is. She's reckless like Stephanie. D said, I'm pretty sure she busted her open on the bridge of her nose. Mm. I'm really hoping that it's not like a surgery. That no surgery needs to be done. If Big Mama Cool has to lose her first big singles title on the main roster win because Sol Ruka's recklessness, am I gonna not? I will never. You will never see Sol Ruka again put over here ever again in life. And I always thought when she did her finisher too in NXT that hey, it's cool that you can hit it on anybody, but what she has to do it might not be the best thing to do. And like I said, there's no way I think for a second that Sol Ruka intentionally did, injured Big Mama Cool. Of course, it was 100% an accident. But how bad does it look that her first time of dropping a title, she's reckless? If I'm management, I'm thinking to myself, did she just not give a shit when she went out there because she knew she was losing the title? And the recklessness led to the injury on Big Mama Cool or what. But either way, something needs to be done with her. Because she's a good talent. A lot of people like her, so there's no reason to completely just, throw it to the wolves. But take her off TV for a month. Get her back in the performance center training a little more. And then let's put her back out there and see how she does. D said his wife was looking good tonight, too. Ooh! Oh, yes, she was, D. Every time I see her now, D, I automatically, oh, there's D's wife. Which, sorry to the real D's wife. Only his wrestle wife that's not real. Please don't beat both of us up. Hey, big man, that's right. Nah, but for real, when you go in there, big man, shake everybody's hand. Say hi. I'm so and so. Good to meet you. No matter what. Even if you don't like the person, still do it. Because you never know what job you can get off of that job. Shit, I should have did wrestling. I wish wrestling was more the way it was today. I would so be in the business. God bless today's rest. Today, how they have all the schools and internet to look things up. It's a beautiful. All right, but back to Monday Night Raw. D, what did we have after Big Mama Cool? We had, what was it, Ethan Page? Oh, no, not Ethan Page. Or if it was Ethan Page, we'll go to him next. Let's hit the SummerSlam build up for the 6-man tag with none other than the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, Solo, and Royce Keys. So you had the Usos came out in the ring. Then Solo came out in the crowd talking some smack. Next thing you know, he says LA Knight's name. LA Knight's music hits. He comes out. They go into the ring. You got a 2-on-2 going on. They're whooping on the Usos. Jacob Fatu rushes down, mollywops everybody. And then Royce Keys comes out. And now it's like, okay, this is what we want to see. These two best friends that, because of the situation Jacob Fatu is now in, are now bitter rivals. But they're both these monster guys. Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys, man, that's a match we want to see. I don't know if anybody gives a shit about this 6-man tag, to be honest with you. I personally don't give that much about it. I'm more curious about where do we go after it. Because to me, this feels like just something that hey, we got nothing for all 6 of these guys, and we need to put them on the show somehow. So we're gonna do this. It feels like it's just a bullshit match. I don't feel that it really is gonna make a huge difference one way or the other. There's nothing, there's no gold on the line, which is why I would have loved to see WWE have the six-man titles. That's one thing that I always loved when I first started watching New Japan Wrestling, was how they had the six-man titles. That intrigued me. I always loved the idea of a 3-on-3 with gold involved. And hey, you can do a 3-on-3 for gold and all. It doesn't take away from the tag titles at all. On When you're saying it out loud, it's just one more guy. But it's so much more than just one more guy being added to the match for each team. That's why, it wouldn't be a bad idea if WWE ever wanted to do something different in that sense. But as always, I would never hold your breath, because you know how WWE feels about, if they didn't do the idea first, it's blasphemy to them then. Which we saw firsthand when we had AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and the Good Brothers all in WWE, and we never put them all together as a faction, because WWE refused to do anything that could resemble Bullet Club, even though Bullet Club was just, I don't know, hugely over, and everybody loved it. Everybody was interested in it. But hey, why would we want to do something that reminds you of that? Since WWE is a competitor of AEW, do you think they would make their own trios titles, but instead call it something different? Well, I actually did just answer that one. But on the sense of calling it something different, nah. I wish, but they'll just never touch it, because they thought of it first. So as long as they thought of it first, they'll never touch it. Javon Evans versus Rusev and Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio was the next match, brother. I knew Ethan Page was in there, and there was a Rey Mysterio, but after that, I kind of just drifted out on that match. So, D, who won that match? Oh, perfect. Thank you, big man. So Javon Evans beat Rusev tonight. It looked good, the match. Okay. Hey, I like Javon Evans. I like, I'm all with the bouncy. The gimmick's cool. I'm a big Ethan Page fan also. Ethan Page beat Ray. Okay. Hey, as he should. And not for nothing. I would love to have seen Ethan Page and Rusev attack the Vision tonight. Instead of them doing that match, they should have had Ethan Page and Rusev attack the Vision. Like, let them come out because they're both heels. Pretend like, yeah, we don't like Otis and Tozawa either. And then, boom, they attack them. And have Ethan Page and Rusev beat them up. Because they should be going for the tag titles. Ethan Page and Rusev would be awesome in the tag division. If you're not going to put the IC title on either one of them, then let them go fight for the tag titles for a little bit. There he is. There's our boy. Welcome back. I am number one, baby. Let's go. Welcome back, brother. Too sweet. Hey, if it's a popcorn bucket, it could happen. there just there just has to be a good movie thunder to it. That's all. D said Ethan Page beat Ray clean. Okay. I like that. Good very late evening, Wolfpack. Yes, sir. Hey, as long as you're feeling better, Brody. Always, always a spot for you here. We're happy to see you back. Me and D were worried. We're starting to get worried. Like, yo, where the hell are you? Where's he at? So if you're not, so if you have no intentions of putting the IC title on Ethan Page or Rusev, which you can tell they don't, because the big thing for the IC title is what? Penta versus Chad Gable. Why are we not taking an Ethan Page with Rusev and throwing them in the tag division that desperately needs new blood? Desperately. And it's another reason why the division is going down. Because they don't have great competition. They don't have these unbelievable opponents to be fighting against to push them up. So shit. Put Ethan Page and Rusev there. These guys are phenomenal together. It works. They're both great wrestlers. And bro, Rusev, Braun Breaker, okay. Now you got Ethan Page, Austin Theory. You got a tag match that people are going to get excited for if they do it right. You do that match right, and everybody would be talking about that tag match. You got two teams that are just so similar to each other. You got Ethan Page, who's the future, Austin Theory, who's the future. You got Braun Breaker, the maniac. You got Rusev, the maniac. It works. Poor Danhausen. Glad he and the little Danhausens got a beat down tonight. Yeah, I try to pretend like that whole segment wasn't even a segment. Who is going to take the belts from Truth and Priest? Priest is going to be in AAA for a while, I believe. Who are they scheduled to fight? Anybody at this point? Are they even on they're not on the SummerSlam card, right? If I'm correct. I don't, which is bananas to me. If you have a belt, your ass should be fighting at SummerSlam. Well, I am number one. I don't know. I don't know if you've been watching everything. If you're up to date with everything. Do you know that Damian Priest is in is pretty much in AAA right now? And if he's gonna be doing all this stuff for AAA, they're gonna have to take the belts off of him and R-Truth. That's for shit sure. But the best idea would be to put him on Tamatonga and Talatonga. Two brothers, and Tamatonga is a tag expert. It could it works. Who doesn't enjoy seeing Tamatonga and his gigantic brother come out with the war paint on? Like they got a cool style. They look mean as could be. You know, it works. Put the belt on the Vision. Hell, hell yeah, against Truth and D. No, the Vision had their own tag belts already. All the belts are on the line at SummerSlam except for the tag titles on Raw and SmackDown. See, it's sad what the tag division has become. And I hate to say it, but maybe maybe they should take a little peek at AEW and watch what they're doing with the tag titles. You know, they you always got an eye on your competition. Have a good night, Thunder. And congrats again on your competition. But bro, the tag division's a joke. They need to make it we need to make the tag division great again. They started the tag division downfall when the New Day was effed over. They should have never got rid of the Good Brothers, that's for shit sure. Bro, that was an easy fix, bro. They were a legit tag team. You know, you keep tag teams. You don't get rid of the New Day. And you know what? If you do get rid of teams that are actual tag teams, then make new tag teams. Don't just let the division go downhill. Like shit. Let's put Matt Cardona with somebody. If we're gonna just let him sit in the back and drink coffee at week after week, then fuck it. I'd rather see him go get somebody else who's not really doing anything and become a tag team than to just sit in the back off a TV. They should only have one tag team championship and let them travel on both shows. You're right. You know, for right now, that's what they should do. Like that would have been the perfect idea for SummerSlam. Let tag champ versus tag champ to unify the tag titles, and then that way, and then have them travel to both brands. Be just until they don't have to do this permanently, but at least for now, while your tag division is fucked up, because they don't have a tag division on either roster. So if you don't have a tag division on either roster, then combine them. Or I don't know, maybe don't get rid of the Motor City Machine Guns, the Wyatt Six, guys you were using as tag teams. Maybe keep some of the tag teams. Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, Tommaso. Maybe make Tommaso happy, not let him go to AEW, which he's doing terrific in, by the way. He's having great matches. Well, Roman had both titles. Why not division? Hey, division would be the ones to win it. You're right. Why not? I love Doc and Anderson. They're one of the best ever. New Day too. Oh man, hey, love, huge fan of the Good Brothers. And now, if you guys haven't seen any of the indie stuff, the Good Brothers did recently a few shows they did with Doc Gallows' son, CJ Gallows, and AJ Styles' son, Avery Johnson. And AJ's son wears the same gear like AJ Styles used to wear, just in green. Bro, the four of them together, yo, they looking good. They look real good, the four of them. I put a picture up with them. I got two pictures on my Instagram of that. One with them, with the four of them together, and another one telling them if you were to take Killer Cross and these four guys and made them a faction, you would light a fire under everybody's ass. The whole world would be talking about it. Bro, yo, Killer Cross has like 6 world titles right now. It's insane. The Good Brothers got a bunch of different bro, these guys are going company to company to company, traveling and kicking ass. And I love it because you know what? They used to do that with AJ Styles, the Good Brothers. I love that they're like back to their roots. I haven't been able to watch yet, but I heard Finn got random title shot coming up. Uh it's Finn versus I think Sami Zayn for a number one contenders match. If Finn wins, the both of them are fighting to be number one contender. And that's gonna be on Sunday Summerslam. NXT Gold Ciampa was one of my favorite character iterations ever. Man, yo, Tommaso is doing really dope on AEW also. And the music Tommaso comes out with on AEW, bro's a banger. I feel like so many people don't understand who Anderson was before WWE. It's kind of sad. Japan Anderson was a fucking monster. Bro, Carl Anderson and Gallows is such a fucking real legit tag team. Like oh man, that's that's why they're so easy to like because they do it. They really do it. And Cross is one of WWE's biggest misses ever. They really screwed up. Oh hells yeah. So me and a few like random people, we've been putting shit out. Killer for Killer Cross versus Roman Reigns for the world title. And then we'll add like things like we know Killer Cross is down, but are you WWE like with question marks? Man, people want to see Killer Cross versus Roman Reigns. Big time. You know, I wasn't even the first one to spark that, but man, I saw it somewhere once and I was like, yo, that would be a match. Kiwi said, I'll tell you who looks good. Anderson's hot Asian wife. You're damn right. There's my brother from another mother. Yo, big shout out to Money Fresh Clothing. Also, not just my brother, also the sponsor of the channel. Make sure everybody you go over to IG, show my brother some love. Money Fresh Clothing LLC. Yo, he's got everything, and I mean everything. T-shirts, keychains, posters, watches, puzzles, games, shoes, mystery boxes, actual real deal mystery boxes that are badass. I even got 2 mystery boxes from Money Fresh that we did on my other channel that you guys could watch and see how legit and awesome they are. We did a Batman and a Ninja Turtles mystery box. When I tell you he's the only person I do mystery boxes with, period. And if you're a member of the channel, you get to use code Wolfpack and you get to save 10% off every time you guys place an order with Money Fresh. Just hit him up on IG for right now because right now he's putting the new website all together and it's going to be badass. So just tell him what you want. He'll send you pictures of it. You let him know, hey, is this what you want? Or just, if you're not sure what you want, but you got an idea, let him know. Trust me, yo, he really does this shit, bro. He's got you covered, bro. Quick shipping, not like that Travis Scott bullshit that takes 6,000 years. Packaging's unbelievable. You get so many tons of stickers with it. Bro, best packaging around, period. Make sure you go show some love to my brother Money Fresh Clothing LLC over on Instagram for the time being. He will be leaving Instagram, going back to the website very soon, but until then, just check him out, hit him up. If you can't get in touch with him for some bizarre reason on IG, let me know and I can help you out. Want to talk about a good brother? That's a good brother for you right there. Money Fresh. I am number one. Say, yo, Cross is the man of the people away from the ring too. Hells yeah. So I told Killer Cross. I said, bro, I call you the. He knows me. I call him the People's Champ, the Blood King, and then I call him my champ. He gets a kick out of it. And bro, yo, none of I put stuff up for so many wrestlers that never gave me a day of recognition. Where Killer Cross and the Good Brothers actually repost all the stuff I put up. They reposted. I've actually had a conversation with Killer Cross on IG and talked to the guy in messages like, yo, other guys aren't doing this shit. Like, yo, these guys take time out of their personal life to give back to the fans. Like, that's so awesome. Ooh, what do we got, D? What's the good news? Hey, Tom. Kiwi said Money Fresh is the man of 1,000 stickers. Right? The same way Dean Malenko's the man of 1,000 holds, Money Fresh is the man of 1,000 stickers. He really is a cool fucking guy, cooler than a polar bear stone. What up, Kay? You like wrestling? I'm from New York. Reports from sources like Fightful Select note that Zilla Fatu was spotted at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, going through preparations and finalizing his steps for his upcoming run. I wish, but what I heard, my sources told me that it's going to be NXT. This guy has so far hasn't missed with me. He told me Zilla is going to be put in NXT first. He needs to get the WWE way of doing things down packed first. And then once he's, but when they do bring him up from NXT, the idea is to put him in the bloodline. But unfortunately, we gonna see him in NXT for a little bit, which honestly is good for NXT because they need some big names right now. See, that's what happens when you raid the indies for so long. You made NXT this so awesome place. Now all those guys have moved on, and now NXT is looking like what it is supposed to be. Supposed to be a place to learn to get you prepared to go to the main roster. Everyone hit that subscribe and like button, or else it'll be like a Slim Jim. Oh yeah! Bronson Reed is nearing his WWE return following a torn bicep tendon, with a potential comeback expected around SummerSlam 2026. And why in God's green earth would they let us know ahead of time that Big Cass is going to be on Monday Night Raw after the first Raw after SummerSlam? Why would you ever tell us that? I don't know about you guys, but I would have rather been surprised when the music hits and I see Big Cass come out. And I'm like, yeah, he's finally here. We knew he was coming, but yes. I don't want to know for sure that he's going to be there. It beats the whole purpose of the surprise. I know it's hard to give people the shock value in today's world because of the internet. Between people's phones, taking pictures of every little thing and putting it in the internet, it's hard to give you the shock value, but shit, at least try. But no word about Enzo, so maybe he will be the surprise. Honestly, I hope, but I just got a weird feeling that Enzo's not coming for some reason, and that they're looking to push Big Cass as a singles wrestler. Which, to be honest with you, I'm surprised they didn't really go down that road a lot more when Enzo was getting in trouble. But I wonder if, I'm sure the backstage turmoil between, Big Cass losing, breaking up with what's her name? And Corey Graves going out with her. I'm sure that didn't help anything backstage. I quit enjoy the backstage talk and I quit yeah. I quite I quit enjoying the backstage talk and rumors. Yeah, I hear you, I am number one. I don't read dirt sheets anymore. I wanna be as surprised as possible. If I could, I wouldn't know anything before I see it in the ring, but some stuff you just can't not see. It's all over the internet, unfortunately. But exactly, I like rumors, not spoilers. Oh, and did you guys hear that they changed Mike Santana's name? Why in a million years would you change Mike Santana's name? Like you did the whole thing with working with TNA where you brought him in and had him wrestle numerous times for the NXT crowd as Mike Santana. So now you want everybody to just pretend like he's not Mike Santana for no reason? And now we're supposed to his new name is Cruz. I forgot if it's Cruz Santana or Cruz something, but it's Cruz, his first name now instead of Mike. Mind boggles the shit out of me. He'll bring back Eugene and James Ellsworth. Oh boy, they do that. I'll be taking off. That's one way to push me to AEW. I remember back in the day they had 1,800 numbers to call for all the rumors, right? I remember I remember D. I love that. My dad hated it. There we go. Cruz Montana. Get the fuck out of here. So we're supposed to call Mike Santana Cruz Montana now. What kind of horse shit is this? Now I get Mike Santana wanted to go to WWE so bad. I get it. But guys, if you're coming from another company and your name has value, fight for your name to keep it. Don't just right away give your name up. Sometimes it's okay, but something like this is the most stupidest shit I've ever heard. How do you have a guy wrestle in front of your entire crowd for months? You worked with TNA for at least the last 6 months, having them over there, on both back and forth, everything, and everybody's supposed to pretend like they're a moron now and call him Cruz Montana. Oh, that's Cruz Montana. No. All I can hope is that the NXT universe grows a pair of balls and does not do this, does not accept it, they need to cheer Mike Santana every time he's out there for the entire segment. Because if they do that and they don't let up, they'll do it. They'll change it back. They'll change it back real quick. Look at Pete Dunne when he got called Butch. How much of a mistake that was. Butch. Damn right, money. Chilling with the hunter. My brother. Escobar changed his name apparently to Romeo Moverdi or something. Yeah, another bullshit name change. Maybe TNA owns Mike Santana, but TNA has a working relationship with WWE, so I don't know why it's a big deal. Wait. So remember, this is why I think why we could get around it too. When he was in AEW, he had his name, so he's gotta own his name because he had it for AEW, he had it for TNA. This is just WWE doing that bullshit that they do, that little kitty bullshit. Now, if he didn't wrestle in TNA, I'm sorry, TNA. If he wasn't in AEW, that's what I would have thought right away too, D. I would have thought maybe TNA has the rights to his name and they don't want to give it up because they're not happy about losing him. And hey, TNA, even though I know that's not the case, just in case you guys are unhappy about losing Mike, then maybe you shouldn't made it so easy to lose all your talent to WWE. I get working with WWE was a great opportunity for TNA, but all you guys really did was you gave TNA an opportunity to to watch and see who they want next. Tito Montana. Oh no, Cruz. No, the Cruz Montana is actually real, Kiwi. That's his real new name. We're really supposed to believe that that's his name now. I am number one's dying. Bring back Zach Gowen, the one-legged. Oh no! So Brock can throw him down the stairs again. WWE owns John Cena. That's his birth name. What the f? Oh, at least luckily they didn't have to worry about John Cena wrestling anywhere else. That's actually what we're talking about right now, MCW. How stupid of an is it that they did this to Santana? WWE owns the trademark and intellectual property rights to the John Cena name, even though it's his real legal birth name. I don't know how they get away with some of this shit. I really don't, D. I don't know how they get away with some shit like that, but luckily though, with John Cena, they didn't have any issues. You know, they knew he wasn't going to no other promotion. Yeah, Mike Santana lost the TNA Championship to Dolph Ziggler, and is in now he's in WWE. Oh yeah, that's why the minute he dropped that belt to Dolph Ziggler, you knew he was out. You knew the rumors were true. He was the big name they had. Mike Santana and Zilla were the big names for NXT that I heard. I can't wait though to see where all those wrestlers, those 30 wrestlers that WWE released, where everybody's gonna end up. That AEW pay-per-view at the end of August, don't be surprised if we see Kairi Sane make a debut. She's not done wrestling, that's for shit sure. And as much as I wish WWE would take Kairi Sane back, if they're not going to take her back, then I hope she goes to their biggest competition. I'm a huge Nick Nemeth fan. He was gold, man. Another waste. He's always going to be Dolph Ziggler to me. And you're right. Another fucking waste. Why did we not do something more with him? You had a guy that could make anybody look like $1,000,000. Like, even if you didn't want to push the guy, they still should have kept him. Which, in his case, I'm happy that he is in TNA. So at least he's getting pushed. And I'm super excited for Nick Nemeth that he's the world champion for TNA. Good for him. I'm not gonna lie though, if I was running TNA, he wouldn't be my world champion. He would have a title, just not the world title. Because if I was running TNA, Moose would be my world champion. Who thinks Ziggler could go back to WWE and become a Grand Slam champ? With the way WWE's going right now, I don't think they would ever offer him the money he'd be willing to take. Because for him to go back to WWE, they probably would offer him the same bullshit contract that had the New Day leave, that had Sheamus leave. I'll never believe he wasn't the next Shawn Michaels. I am number one. Yeet. Well, at least Dolph had more than a 9-day WWE Championship run. Yo, when I was watching the AEW pay-per-view, there was someone right behind the commentators in between JR and Tony Schiavone that looked exactly like Sami Zayn. Now, of course, it wasn't. But when I was looking at this fan, I said, and that's why you were champions for 9 days. Big Man said, not true. Will it rain? Will it rain in the goddamn dirt sheets? WWE don't own John Cena's name. Vince tried that with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Geesh. Off the dirt sheets. Who remembers EC3? Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened with him either. He came back to TNA, and then we didn't see or hear anything anymore about him. EC3 is another guy that, man, what a missed opportunity with this guy. I don't know what the deal is with him. I know he was in JCW, but he was also working with TNA, and He had just come back to work with TNA again, and then nothing. EC3 had the look, but was super stiff. Yep, EC3's in JCW. Oh yeah, he was apparently a douche backstage, like everywhere. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, because I'll tell you one thing. Like, the guy's still in like good shape, unbelievable shape actually. But when you look at like EC3 years ago to EC3 now, he kind of looks like EC3 the cokehead. He looks like he's got mad anxiety issues nowadays compared to in control and everything before. But I'm an EC3 fan regardless. I was super hyped when he came back to TNA. I said, finally, bro, the company that you made the biggest splash in. I don't know why he ever left. Well, actually, of course we know why. Just like everybody else did. They went to WWE. But hey, when the grass wasn't greener in WWE, he should have did whatever he needed to do to go back to TNA. Because in TNA, he could be a world champion again. And he has the look. He's great. EC3 left NWA, returned to TNA, and left. Now, the big question, though, is why did he leave TNA? I hate that he wasn't a terrible person, but Velveteen Dream was going to be a wrestling good in my opinion, wrestling god in my opinion. I wouldn't go that far, but damn, was he gonna be good? He had a lot of potential to be like the next Gold Dust. Another guy who just completely fucked his career up. Yeah, I got a brain freeze, but I know I do remember that a lot of Velveteen Dream shit was him asking for more money and stuff like that and getting in trouble. A lot of these guys, I don't get it. Like, hey, you get a dream job, your entire lifestyle needs to change. There's no getting into fights. There's no being stupid anymore. There's no hanging out with friends that are stupid. Or you gotta change that your entire environment. Everything you do needs to change. Bro, these are dream jobs, like, and especially with wrestling, man, you gotta bust your ass to get in there. So if you make it, don't let bullshit take it away. Not knowing how to act when you're not, behind the scenes. That's gotta be one of the worst things to ruin your career on. Yeah, I am number one. He got himself in the old tons of shit. EC3 left TNA because he wanted a fresh challenge, a major life change. Yeah, he definitely got the major life change. That's for shit, sure. Not the life change he wanted, but he got it. but you can tell, like, AEW and WWE. Yo, if neither one of those companies pick you up, you gotta ask yourself why. They both have a second company that they could have even used you in if they didn't need you for the main company. You know, AEW's got Ring of Honor, WWE's got NXT. Like it's it's easy shit. My phone's my phone's on 1%, so that can't happen tonight, D. I hate that Lars Sullivan had the mental health problem. I loved watching the big fucker. He was a mean looking. Oh yeah, Lars Sullivan. I liked him. Another another guy that mentally wasn't, unfortunately. I always thought though Lars Sullivan would have came back. I always thought he would have kind of got himself situated. But what are you gonna do? Look at Ryback. Look at what he tried. Ryback tried fighting to get wrestlers more rights and whatnot. Kind of like making a union for wrestlers. Great idea, but went about it the wrong way. And now he does what for wrestling? Nothing. This guy was so over. Forget about it. Feed me more. I've never seen a guy get over that much that quick. That was dangerous in the ring and couldn't wrestle. The guy was a giant juice head and skyrocketed his character. Do you think WWE wasted Enzo and Cass? Yes and no. Enzo, unfortunately, as much as I like Enzo a lot more now. You know, Enzo back then in NXT was immature, and that was his problem. And I think Big Cass suffered because of that. Plus, Big Cass had his own personal demons that he needed to overcome. But I'm happy that both those guys, you know, got their shit together. And they absolutely, obviously Big Cass is getting a second chance. We know that. I think Enzo deserves another opportunity also. You know, I get he was a problem back then, but everybody deserves a second chance, especially when it wasn't something, real like evil that he did. Like he was just doing childish shit. They could easily plug him in for another chance. Like he was over. Especially a guy that was that over, the crowd loved him. Some people. I was a huge gold era NXT mark, so many greats. Oh, absolutely. They had Look how easy they had it back then in that era. Hey guys, don't no calling each other names. Enzo and Cass kind of ran their course. Enzo had some absolutely, but that's why he needs to come. He should get another chance now. He's not that little kid anymore. And when you're not, you're not. No, if you're like nobody, right, and you get thrown into that spotlight, and you're that over that quick, you could see how it can go to people's head. Like, look at Enzo, man. He was getting shoe deals, everything, man. He got a lot of fame got thrown at him, real quick, and unfortunately, he wasn't ready to grow up quick as as he needed to at that time. But hey, there's no reason not to give Enzo another chance. He's been wrestling. Oh, he does all the autograph showings. Everybody loves the guy. As far as I know, he hasn't been doing he's been good. I don't, if he's been getting in trouble and shit, then, WWE's no way is going to go near you. MC Big Cash returns the Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam. Enzo is actually kind of cool to listen to talk to nowadays. Much more tolerable. Bro, if you get to meet him in person, bro, super cool dude. You know, I'm a huge Enzo fan of today's Enzo. Enzo back then, not so much. WWE messed up when they split them up. Yeah, you don't if you never split a tag team up if it doesn't need to be. Like those guys wanted to be together, keep them together. Big Cass is a certified G, and you can't teach. Oh yeah, can't teach it. Enzo got in trouble with the law, so WWE had to let him go. GFC right there. That's a no-no. You know, bro, you work for WWE. You're in the NBA. You're in the NFL. Whatever you're in, you're a movie star. Whatever your job is, you have one of these kind of jobs. Don't be a fucking moron. You do not put yourself in situations that you can get in trouble. Let me tell you something. The last thing I'm looking to do is go to the bar if I have any of those jobs. That is the last thing I'm looking to do is go hit up the club. Fuck that. I am more concerned with keeping my job. All that other shit will always be there. The bullshit is never going anywhere. Who remembers Mordecai? Oh man, I remember the name. I can't I can't put a face to the character at the moment. Let me look. Mordecai. Oh, okay. The guy who looked like Satan, right? Black black shirt, red tie. That's Mordecai, right? Big man, he is in AAA. Not only is La Parker in AAA, fall of 2027, La Parker is gonna get his first ever WWE figure. They're doing a whole AAA figure line with WWE. La Parker's getting one. They're gonna do legends like Psychosis, OG Conan, OG Rey Mysterio. Bro, it's gonna be so good. Iguana, the Iguana guy, he's got his figure up for pre-order right now. Yo, triple A is doing so good. That's that's why they're doing this shit. Thank you, Undertaker, for getting triple A to where it is right now. And I know you're winging it because triple A wrestling is not your style any way, shape, or form. But shit, whatever you're doing, Undertaker, keep doing it. Psycho Clown's gonna get a figure. Pagana's gonna get a figure. Bro, I am so hyped for the AAA figures that are gonna be coming out in that line. Woo! And that's all. And all those names I said is the first series. That's just the first series. Also, make sure if any of you guys are into collecting the figures, you go to Ringside Collectibles right now and pre-order yourself Sabu. First time ever in the line. Ringside Collectible unsanctioned. Sabu, baby. First ever figure form. Well, for the new elite style figures. Obviously he had his other figures back in the day, but for the today figures, this is his first figure. It's a so and New Jack also. And New Jack comes with the staple gun, a garbage pail, and the kendo stick. So if any of you guys are into the figures also, man, make sure you jump into it now. And if any of you are thinking about it, I'm telling you, if anybody's on the fence about getting involved with and collecting the wrestling figures, do not wait. If you don't jump in now, I'm telling you, you're gonna be playing from behind for the rest of your life. This has been the best year for collecting these wrestling figures. That's what I'm hearing from guys that have been doing this for 10 plus years. They all been telling me that, bro, you came in at the right time, man. You were so lucky. There's a secret list of like certain characters that never got made that these big collectors have been asking for years. And they went from not getting these guys for years to getting multiple of them in the same year. This is an incredible year to be a collector in wrestling figures. You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. They're so they're so underrated. Great promotion. Hell's you. Big man said, "Oh, I didn't know that." Hey, now you do. My now ex-wife literally gave away close to $40,000 worth of collectibles that I had. Just gone forever. I don't have a single thing left after 30 years of collecting. Heartbreaking. Damn, bro. Shit. Feel free to give her away. Hey, that's why she's the ex. But you know what? As much as it sucks, and I know it sucks, what better way to tell her to go fuck herself than for you to get back into it? That would be the biggest fu you could ever give her is by getting back into collecting it. Because if she saw that, she sees pictures. Because I guarantee she'll look at your social medias. You know how exes are, and she'll be like, "What the fuck? I can't believe he's collecting still. I thought I ruined that for him." Oh man, she would be so pissed off. Who remember? Oh hell's yeah, Glazier in WCW. He looked like He absolutely did, big man. He looked like Sub Zero from Mortal Kombat. So Glazier, when Glazier stopped wrestling, he was working behind the scenes as a match producer for a while. I don't know what he's doing nowadays though, but I do know he was a match producer for a little bit. I liked Glazier back in the day. Starting over, man, but how me and my kids are gonna do it together? Oh yeah, she long good. And there you go, shit. What better way to do it than to do it with your kids, man? And they'll love it. Oh man, that'll really make her pissed off. Your kids are your kids are with her or not with her? He said if my wife did that, she would be my ex. Big facts. We live 5 minutes from Rupp Arena, and the live show comes all the time. Won't take long to replenish. There you go. Glazer's sis is gonna be on the next Jericho cruise. So they had yesterday. Oh shit. Nope. I have my kids. We haven't seen her in 4 years. Deadbeat. That's right. Fuck that deadbeat. Deadbeats could go kick rocks. Hey, out of sight, out of mind. Anybody who could do something like that to you, what I would do? I just I would just brush it off as, hey, that's how much it took for you to get rid of this bitch for good. Don't let anybody fool you. You don't gotta buy a girlfriend or a wife one thing. Trust me. It's still gonna cost you something always. Relationships are like businesses. You put work into it, you put money into it. They're investments. Relationships and investments are the same thing. Sometimes, sometimes your investment's good, sometimes it's not. No, hey, no one hits the stock market every time, right? Otherwise, we'd all be rich. That's why you number one now. I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, you got to look at them like investments. Just never ever tell them they're never tell your girlfriend or wife that though. Otherwise, it's not going to go over good. But treat them like investments. always had that comparison. Because it's true, what do you do in an investment? You put money into it. Same thing you do with a relationship. You put money into it. How much money are you gonna put into this investment to you if it's going bad? When do you gotta know when to get out, right? And sometimes you gotta, you're not always gonna win every investment. Sometimes investments, they go bad. And when they go bad, you gotta know when to get out. Yo, what up, King? What up, my brother? What up, Team No Sleep? Too sweet. Yo, if you guys have not already hit that like button, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are trying to get this channel monetized so we can do some more shit over here. She was the worst investment ever. I got a few like that too, brother. I got a few like that too. That's why I'm not married now. And I'm happy. Very. In that department. Damn, I know Val Venus got a weed shop in Nevada. Hey, there was only so long he was able to come out in a robe and say, "Hello, ladies," before Val Venus hit a certain age where it goes from being sexy to the ladies to creepy to the ladies. But good for Val Venus for living it up while he could, while he was younger. They never really transitioned him into like the next thing after that. He went from Val Venus to Rightful Censor to that's it. It was like after they cut his hair and put him in the bullshit faction, it was like they looked at him and just was like, "Yeah, we don't want to do anything with this guy anymore. We're done with him." I remember losing my shit seeing a sign at a Raw that said, "Hello, Leslie," and I lost it. Bro. Oh, it's good shit. D said, "Porn star gimmick, classic." Right? Absolute classic. All right, so to be true to the thumbnail, I do got to say some things about that AEW pay per view that happened Sunday, and man, I is shocked. I don't understand it. I just really don't. Why is it that AEW can't tell a fucking story to save their life? Their weekly shows are but their pay-per-views are really good. The only problem that I find with the pay-per-views is like, can we get a pay-per-view without blood? Shit, if you could ever bet on an AEW pay-per-view and they'll let you do a yes or no bet, like will you see blood on the show? I would bet my house on it that you will see blood on the show. It is that bad. Like you don't need somebody to have color every time. Like, they do it so much that I'm at the point, like, yo, go donate blood. Like, yo, there's a lot of hospitals that need blood and shit. They're just throwing this shit around like it's water. Go donate that shit instead and save some lives. Because I can't take seeing it every damn. And I'm only watching their pay-per-views. So they got 4 weeks of weekly shows that I'm not watching. And I'm still getting too much blood watching one show a month. So that should tell you everything you need to know on that sense. But man, did they have another really good pay-per-view. You had the Young Bucks versus John Moxley and Will Ospreay. Good match. What else happened? Oh, you had the War Dogs versus Jay White and Juice Robinson in a tag team chain gang match. Another great match. They did great with that. Jay White and Juice Robinson didn't win, which I would have liked them to go over, but because they got cheated, it made sense. Man, I don't know what it is, but AEW is putting on some really good pay-per-views. We had a tag match with Edge and Christian versus Cesaro and Pac, who was Adrian Neville in WWE, who's fucking who needs to slow down on the steroids while he's in AEW. That's for shit sure. If this dude gets any bigger, his head's gonna fall off. Man, they had just a really good card. Hey, Kenny Omega main evented the pay-per-view for the world title. They did a whole good angle with this shit. They had Will Ospreay leave the Death Riders. Man, AEW put a really good show on. Now I know a lot of you guys didn't see the pay-per-view, but for the ones that did see the pay-per-view, tell me, give me something from the pay-per-view, a match that you guys want to talk about from the AEW pay-per-view. Because I got it in the title and on the thumbnail, so I gotta talk about some AEW action. Let me see. We got Jay White is my favorite modern day wrestler. I've been a fan since early Japan days. He's so good. Yo, big Jay White fan also. True story for you. I am number one. I was at the show in Madison Square Garden that Jay White was in the main event and won the main event that night of that show. The only time there was a non WWE show in Madison Square Garden. The only time in history it happened. Also, unbelievable show. I got the Too Sweet with Tamatunga and Tungaloa that night. Big Cass and Enzo Amore came out of the crowd. Unfortunately, they never really did anything after that with them, but the way they did it, you had everybody like, yo, is this real? Did they really just come out and attack these guys? It was done just so good. I'm so jealous. Jay is just that amazing. I would have loved to see that show. Bro, I couldn't talk for like 7 days after yelling all night at that show. That was a great weekend. I went to WrestleCade, sat front row for WrestleCade, and then I sat ninth row on the floor, but on the end where the wrestlers walk out. For the Ring of Honor and New Japan show. So I got to see everybody as they came down the aisle. Kai and Tai. Bro, they did. Jay White just came back too. Jay White was he was injured and out of wrestling for months. And I don't really care much for Billy Gunn's kids, but when you put them with Juice Robinson and Jay White and Ace Austin, hey, you actually got a faction now that I can work with. They're not gonna make my show when I start my thing with my figures, but well, you never know. Maybe I'll change my mind. But I got a nice special edition Jay White. Also, I am number one for when I do the figures. Came in a box that says Switchblade and everything with the Switchblade on the front of the box. Oh man, I forgot what color attire he's wearing. I forget if it's red or black he's got on. But he's in the Switchblade gimmick. Nah, they haven't really won me over, Billy Gunn's kids. I like the taller one more than the other one. Man, and it was funny because they're beefing with the dogs, which is um Fit Finley's kid and Clark something or another, and they're allies with the Death Riders, unfortunately. And Jay White was like, "If there's anything I'm the best at, I am the best at beating up David Finley." And he's like, "Everywhere I've gone, I beat up Dave Finley, and now Dave Finley, you've even followed me over to the land of elite, where I'm gonna beat you up here too." Yo, Jay White is so freaking good. All I kept thinking was, could you imagine if Jay White was to go to WWE and they actually give him a real singles push? Man, I would have loved to see Jay White hit his finisher on whoever wins between Cody and CM Punk. I would love to see Jay White come out after that match is over, hit his finisher, and then boom, Switchblade has arrived. Woo! It's Thanksgiving weekend, big man. It's either Thanksgiving weekend or the weekend after Thanksgiving. That I know for sure. It's one or the other, though. Oh my god, that would be amazing if they really used him. Like, bro, that would be gold. Or, like, if he was to leave, or even if he left AEW, and let's say he leaves AEW, right? But he doesn't go to WWE. And him and Killer Cross as a team, like a faction, would be amazing also. How about this for a faction? Killer Cross, Aleister Black, and Jay White. Whoo! Shit, I'd even throw in Buddy Murphy. Right? I'd be like, take all my money. Here you go. Because that's what we're missing, guys. That's what we're really missing right now. The best times in wrestling throughout the years was what? There was always a badass faction. Look at our history. The real Bullet Club, not the watered down Bullet Club, the real Bullet Club. Shit was so over. The Indies, people were watching the Indies over WWE at that time. Bullet Club was so over with AJ when AJ was the leader, and then even when Kenny took over after AJ left, they still was over. After that, it went downhill, but for that time frame, unbelievably over. Degeneration X, completely over. NWO, completely over. The Hart Foundation, completely over. Suzuki Gun, fun as hell faction, also, that was over. That did some good shit. You had Los Ingobernables de Japón back in the Bullet Club days that were beefing with each other. That was over as shit, too. Man, you just can't pretend like these factions did not make such a huge impact. You know, you had Vince McMahon's corporation. You had Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness. You had all these different factions that one way or another brought more people in, made more people talk, more people are interested. Look at even the Bloodline originally was over as shit. To the point that they're now on Bloodline 2.0, like shit. But it's 3 o'clock. I gotta call the night right now, boys. Um, I'm not 100% if we'll be live Friday because we will be live for SummerSlam. Definitely gonna be live SummerSlam night 1. So make sure you guys come through, hang out. watch some SummerSlam action if you're going to watch it. We will be live for SummerSlam. Depends on how how the first live of the night goes on Friday. Will be if I run one, if we're here Friday night, since we're gonna be back here Saturday. So keep your notifications on. Make sure everybody, if you have not already subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, do all that good shit that I'm supposed to tell you to do 1,000 different times throughout the night that I'm not gonna do. Because when you hunt with the pack, you never hunt alone. And as always, everybody, stay hunting, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out of here, boys. 2 so